Hi, I'm Danielle, and welcome to my perfume journal. Every Sunday, I look back on the perfumes I wore the previous week and I set up my perfume tray for the upcoming week. So, this is what my perfume tray looked like at the beginning of last week, and this is what the tray looked like at the end of the week. I put 6 perfumes on the tray at the beginning of the week, ended up with 10, actually wore 8. I promised I would report back on Jill Sanders' Softly Eau de Pétale. That was a recent blind buy addition to my collection. Very happy to say that I loved it. It's a really nice, soft, light, rosy floral. It's a little bit powdery, not cosmetic. It sort of reminded me a little tiny bit of Chanel's Chance Automne in that family of like fresh, light florals. And I'm really happy to have this in my collection for spring. I also finished a sample of Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre Parfums that was like languishing at the bottom of my sample bowl. I really enjoyed giving that sample one last wear. It's a really pretty tuberose scent with a hint of Sichuan pepper to spice it up. I would definitely purchase this in a secondhand partial. Like I'd love to have just about like 20 mils of this on hand for when the mood strikes, but I don't think I need a whole entire bottle of this right now. And funnily enough, I mentioned last week that I was like on a Sarah Jessica Parker bender, and of all the perfumes on my tray this week, the only 2 I didn't wear were the Sarah Jessica Parkers. So, it's just how it goes sometimes. I'm also really happy that I finally connected with the secondhand bottle of Linge Noir from Givenchy. It took me a while to get with this perfume. I blind bought it when I was on a sesame kick. Didn't like it at all at first. But something happened this week. It pulled me into it, and I wore it almost every single evening as my scent of the night. So yay, it was a good week. And of course, because this channel is called Perfume Journal, here's my journal page where I tracked my scent of the day and my scent of the night last week. It's my little book of self-care and stickers and fun. And now we can move on to resetting the tray for the upcoming week. So I've mentioned this before, but I just want to reiterate that one of the things I really love about setting up the tray every week is even if I don't stick to it like completely rigidly, one of the things I really love is that I can like shop my own collection and give all of my perfumes the attention and the love that they deserve and that I have for them. So the first perfume I decided to pull off the shelf this week is Britney Spears' Intimate Fantasy. I have not worn this in a while. And of all the Britney perfumes I have had over the years, this is actually the only one that I have kept. So the notes in Intimate Fantasy are lemon, lychee, violet leaf, brown sugar, lily of the valley, jasmine, vanilla, heliotrope, and white musk. So is this a soft and sweet fruity floral? Yes. Do I smell coconut in this perfume even when there is no coconut listed? Also yes. I don't know what it is about this perfume, but I get milky white coconut cream from it. And I'm not much for layering perfumes anymore. I used to be big into trying to layer, but it was like a fleeting experiment, except in this case of Intimate Fantasy. Whenever I wear Intimate Fantasy, I always put on this Bath & Body Works Frosted Coconut Snowball Body Cream first. And the combination of these 2 scents together is heavenly. I think it is. So I'm definitely going to be wearing them together this week without a doubt. I actually can't wait to wear this again. So this perfume has been kind of sitting unloved for a little while on my shelf, and it's called By Night White. And it's from an Italian brand I discovered called Profumi del Forte. And I found this in a perfume shop, guess where, on vacation, sitting all lonely all by itself on a shelf. And I was like, what's this? Let me check this out. So I liked my first sniff of it. I pulled out my phone in the store, and I remember seeing somewhere, I don't recall where I saw it, but that the perfume was created by Bertrand Duchefort, who I love as a perfumer. And once again, since I was on vacation, I forgot all about being a regular person, and I immediately bought this perfume. Literally one sniff, and then I bought it. It was definitely nowhere near the price that's listed on the website now. I would not have paid 180 euros for this. I think maybe I paid like around 100 US dollars, which is still a lot for me for one bottle of perfume, but it was vacation Danielle in that shop, not regular Danielle. So yeah, so this perfume is really, really pretty. The notes in By White Night are lemon, bergamot, black pepper, coriander seed, petitgrain, orange blossom, orchid, rose, jasmine, and violet, and heliotrope, vanilla, tonka bean, white musk, benzoin, and sandalwood. So when it comes to Fleurs, which to me are perfumes you might technically class as a gourmand, but they don't smell fully edible. They have like a sweetness to them from gourmand notes, but there's florals in them to keep them from going into full gourmand territory. This perfume to me is in that class. What I get from this perfume is primarily the lemon in the opening, the orange blossom in the heart, and then a sweet powderiness from the vanilla, the heliotrope, and the tonka. Everything else in the perfume, all those other notes, to me, they exist simply to amplify these primary characters. So smelling this perfume, it paints a picture of a slow walk down the narrow stone streets of Rome in spring when the orange blossoms are in full bloom. There's a slight breeze going. You're enjoying a lemon gelato ice cream cone, and you're just basking in the beauty of the sights, the sounds, the smells, the flavors. It's such a pretty, evocative scent. And when it comes to gourmands, I think Italian brands do them the very best. So I'm really excited to wear this perfume again that I think is a really beautiful representation of the city of Rome in spring. So this is Crystal Noir in the EDT concentration from Versace. So I want to talk about this perfume from the perspective of note lists, okay? So bear with me here. On the Versace website, for the EDT and the EDP concentration of this perfume, they list cardamom, pepper and ginger, gardenia, peony, orange flower, amber, sandalwood, and musk as the notes. Now, if you went to Parfumo to check the notes for the EDT, this is what you would see. Blackcurrant, fig, violet, frangipani, tuberose, jasmine, sandalwood, cashmere, musk, and heliotropin. Totally different from what's on the Versace website. And I think what that goes to show is that note lists are a good reference point, no matter where you look for them, whether it's on the brand website or on a fragrance database. But I always think that we should follow our own noses, because if you smell it, it's there. And your own perceptions of a perfume are what really matters, because perfume is totally subjective. I love to read perfume reviews. I love to watch perfume review videos, but they never really make me feel like what I'm perceiving or smelling in a perfume is wrong, because I know my own nose. I know what I like. I know what my brain wants to perceive or is perceiving. And that's really what matters to me in my enjoyment of a perfume. Okay, so the perfume. What does the perfume smell like? So what I get from this perfume very strongly are soapy, spicy florals. The spices in the opening of this perfume are immediately they grab you, especially the cardamom. That's what I perceive the most prominently in the opening. And then the gardenia just blooms and opens up. To me, that's the most pronounced floral in this composition. And it's what gives the perfume that beautiful soapiness. And then as the perfume dries down, I don't think the soapiness really goes away. It kind of just softens up from the woody, musky base notes coming out, and it's just so gorgeous. It's sultry and dynamic. I really, really love this perfume. It's one of my all-time favorites from the Genius Nose of Antoine Lee, and I cannot imagine this perfume not being in my collection. I will always have this. So I'm putting Narciso Poudree back on the tray this week. I rotated it off for a little bit, but I'm still really into the Narciso musks right now, so I'm going to wear this one again. So the notes are jasmine, Bulgarian rose, musk, black cedar, vetiver, and white cedar. And the musks in the heart are everything in this whole Narciso line. Like the ombre that I wore last week is the Narciso musk accord enhanced by buttery yellow florals. Poudree is the Narciso musk accord enhanced by powdery florals of rose and jasmine. And I think there's got to be some heliotropin in this, or some kind of ionone that's giving it that powdery quality. But again, this is really just all about those beautiful, unique Narciso musks. So I'm putting 2 samples on my tray this week, and this one that I'm going to try to finish up is Taif from Ormonde. This is one of the samples that my very generous friend Danielle sent me. Thank you, Danielle. I've worn it once and I loved it out the gate, so I really want to give this perfume more time. The notes in Taif are pink pepper, date and saffron, freesia, jasmine, and orange blossom absolute, taif rose, and amber, broom, and Ugandan vanilla absolute. So I usually don't really go for that like rose and saffron thing that's in a lot of rose perfumes, but I think the airy florals that like buddy up with that gorgeous taif rose really lighten up this composition. They lighten up those top notes and they create what more of like a watercolor rose than like a thick acrylic painterly rose. That's the best way I can think of to describe it. And it's got that beautiful broom note in the base, which I would describe as like a combination of yellow florals, honey, and hay. It's really beautiful and it works really, really well as a base note in this perfume. I'm also going to wear my big sample of Quelques Royale from Houbigant. Quelques is an example of really classic perfumery. It's been around for ages. It's a beautiful French style floral perfume. I think at this point in time, I may have actually smelled all of the Quelques flankers that have come out. And so far, this one, the Royale flanker, has been my favorite. The notes in this perfume are grapefruit and blackcurrant, absolutes of beeswax, jasmine, rose, tuberose, and violet, and then musk, cedarwood, vanilla, and sandalwood in the base. So honeyed florals are among my favorite style of floral perfumes. I think it's because Bijoux Femme was one of my first self-discovered signature scents in the 80s. It made me totally fall in love with the combination of like bees and flowers. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen those photos of like when bees are out and they're, buzzing around the flowers and they fall asleep inside the flower. That is what I always think of when I smell a really beautiful honeyed floral, like a fat little bumblebee that's so full up on nectar that it has to take a nap inside the flower before it can head back home to the hive. So to me, this perfume is like Thanksgiving for bees. And finally, I'm going to put aside my bottle of Linge Noir this week for my scent of the night. And I'm going to go back to my childhood with Love's Baby Soft. And this perfume came out in 1974. This is definitely not the same bottle that I had in the 70s as a kid, but it really smells still pretty close to the original. It's actually kind of amazing that as an adult, you can detect really subtle differences between the current formulation of a perfume and the original formulation of a perfume that you haven't smelled in like 50 years. And I think it's like when perfumes are that embedded in our core memories, we just never forget them. We never forget even the slightest nuances of how they smelled. So the notes of Love's Baby Soft are lemon leaf, orange, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, powdery notes, musk, vanilla, and sandalwood. And to me, this perfume really is not all that juvenile. It's youthful, yeah, but it's not juvenile. It's actually really quite a lovely perfume. It's nothing serious, but it's so pretty. It's so soft, so floral, so powdery. And of course, it's really more for me about the feeling and the memory of this scent than anything else, but it is very beautiful. And sometimes we just need to stay connected to happier, more innocent times, don't we? And so that's exactly what I'm going to do this week with Love's Baby Soft on my tray. Okay, so there we have it, my perfume tray for the upcoming week. I'm excited to wear all of these perfumes. Super happy about this tray. It's going to be a good smelling week. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending your time with me and for chatting about perfumes with me in the comments. I love talking to other people about perfumes. That and having this creative outlet are the two main reasons why I started this channel, and I really love both of those things so much. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.